remove that filter. Sorry. Okay. Video is starting. Okay. I am live. I'm live. Okay, perfect. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds and I'm going to get started. All right. As soon as I get on. And Kira, if you don't mind going ahead and putting that link in there, the live.theambitionacademycc.com. And then I'm going to get started. All right, so I'm going to get straight into it. I am streaming on 2 platforms. So I'm streaming on Facebook here, and I am streaming on Instagram here, so that I can obviously maximize my time. All right, so let me get into it. My name is Fatima Barnes. I am a business coach for beauty brands, and I help beauty brands that are stagnant primarily. The ones that are needing to grow, they're struggling to grow. I help them grow, get paid premium, relaunch, and dominate sales online without social media burnout, even if you have a small following and you aren't a celebrity or influencer, okay? And so for those that are entrepreneurs watching me, this may be the first time. Obviously, this is the first time I'm going live in this group. So I am going to go ahead and just put it out there a little bit more about me that you guys may not know that my Instagram fam knows. So I've helped over 450 businesses in about 30 different industries and worked with over millions of dollars of revenue and with brands that were $1 million brands. I grew my own beauty brand to 6 figures. And I've been featured in Forbes, Yahoo Finance, things like that. A lot of major publications, but that's not what's important. What's more important is that I now spend my days helping women just like you every day do the same, okay? And so enough about me now, and now on to why I'm here. Again, my Instagram fam, they kind of are used to me going live. In this group, this is my first time going live, and I'm gonna go live rather 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you catch the replay and you have questions, feel free to comment replay, or of course just comment your questions and I will be happy to answer them, okay? All right, so for those who are watching the replay, let me just get into it. There is a lot of misinformation out there about marketing and strategies and so forth. Marketing is extremely complex. It's more than just posting on social media and kind of like, I call it hope marketing, posting on social media and keep on going and going and going and burning yourself out until eventually someone decides that they want to buy from you. It is not an effective use of your time. It is not the best approach. Social media alone is not the best approach for growing your brand. I'm going to tell you why. First, the first reason is you do not own that platform. You don't own social media. Anything could happen. It could shut down for the day. Whatever the case may be, you have to have your own audience list because you don't own it. The second piece of that is it is a social platform for a reason. It is not a platform that they are going on there necessarily most of the time looking to shop. Now, some people have their moments, but primarily nobody wants to get off of that app. And when Facebook and Instagram created these platforms, they created these platforms to keep people scrolling at all times. That is their goal. I want people to scroll. I do not want them to leave that app. So especially when you come in and you're posting organically and you're trying to get people off that app, there's a psychology that goes behind how you do that and how you make that work. In turn, most people end up building up their following, but not actually building up their sales, okay? And this is why you are struggling and you are posting like crazy on your social media page, and you're saying, buy from me, shop for me, buy from me, shop for me, and nobody is buying, okay? It is because you are missing several different ingredients that plays a part in everything in the whole grand scheme of things. And if you just feel like if I post like crazy on social media, that is enough, you're going to continue to be in the same position, because like I said earlier, you don't own social media. And not only that, when it comes to social media, they pay people a lot of money to make it to where people do not want to leave that app, okay? So that's the psychology behind it. Now, I'm going to get into the missing ingredients, okay? I'm going to get into the 5 missing ingredients that you need. These are 5 ingredients to make sure that you are able to convert your ideal customers into fans and buyers, okay? That is the key. It makes no sense to have 10,000 followers if none of them buy from you. There is a psychology behind how you position your brand and your products online that will attract buyers, okay? Not just followers who are on your page and will never buy, okay? So that is why it's important when we hear this information about just keep posting. They're gonna see you. That's hope marketing. That's what I call hope marketing, okay? That is not going to change your situation, okay? So I'm going to put it in perspective, and for my Instagram fam that's watching too, you guys may have heard this example before, but for those that are in this Facebook group, you guys may not have ever, you probably don't know me, so you've never heard this. So I'm going to put it in terms of dating to kind of help you guys grasp the concepts of how to start converting your customers today, okay? That is key. Okay, so the first ingredient is you need a solid foundation. If there's any crack in your foundation, then you are not going to convert customers, especially quickly. What is a solid foundation? What classifies as a solid foundation? 1, you need a clear niche, meaning you need to be able to clearly and quickly identify, whether it's through your bio, your website, or whatever, who you serve, how you serve them, what problem you solve. And yes, you can do this for a product. This is a lot of product-based businesses think just because I have body butter, people need body butter, they're going to buy it. No. Who is the body butter for? How are you going to help them? What problem is it going to solve? If you can't identify that, you're going to lose people, okay? That's number 1. The second part of a solid foundation is you need to be able to clearly identify your unique advantage. What makes your body butter better or different than hers? What's different about you and your business or your approach than hers? If you can't sit there and identify what makes you unique, what makes you different, and clearly identify who yours is for, they are going to say, why buy from this person over this person? It's the same. And they're just going to go with whoever. They're not going to have any loyalty or following or whatever the case may be. So if we put that in terms of dating, that is the equivalent of saying, okay, I got to give somebody something to work with. Okay, before I put myself out there in the dating world, I got to get myself together, and I got to be able to identify what type of person I'm trying to attract. I need to be able to make myself, put that out there, like identify why I'm the best person and so forth. You're not even trying, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to have that solid foundation, okay? Without a clear niche, if you are marketing to everybody, you're marketing to no one. If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to no one, okay? And so that is going to keep you stuck and stagnant if you don't have that identified clearly at the core first, okay? The second piece of that is the ingredient number 2 that you're missing is irresistible content. If you're looking at this like you're in the dating world, this is the initial attraction, okay? You've captured someone's attention. They are attracted to you, okay? Because you've done something, there's something about you at the foundation that has attracted this person, that has made you irresistible. That is how you have to look at it with your products and your brand. You have to have content that makes it irresistible to the person whose problem that you say you're going to solve with your products and services, okay? Products, really, okay? So this looks like you have to identify and make it very clear to your audience what you've established in the foundation. You need to let them know that they need your products. Your products is the answer to their prayers, and you have to identify that through your content, okay? But most people don't know how to create irresistible content or create content that's effective because they don't have a foundation. They don't know who they're creating content for. They don't know what makes them different. So they're just doing the same content as everybody else. So again, you're getting lost in a sea of other beauty brands all marketing and doing the same thing, when you have to highlight and be irresistible in your content why they should be attracted to you versus someone else who's selling the same exact thing, okay? So your content has to be more than just holding the bundles up in your hand, shaking it, or showing you pouring the body butter in the bottle. What you need to tell me why in your content. Why do I need to know this? Why do I need to shop with you? You can't just say shop with me. That is the equivalent of, and let me tell you why. That is the equivalent of you go on this date with this guy and he asks you to marry him on the first date and you don't know him. Okay? You have not built a relationship. You have not built a relationship with this guy yet in order to then say, all right, I'm ready to marry you. And that's what most people are doing on social media. They get on social media and they're basically asking their potential buyers or customers to marry them and basically shop with them right off the bat. You have to give more than you take on social media, okay? So that's the first piece. You have to give more value. And yes, even if you have a beauty product, what can you show them in your content that again educates them, that makes you irresistible, that highlights why you over the next person selling the same thing? But you can't do that without a foundation, because you have to know clearly who you're talking to and what their pain points are and what they need, what keeps them up at night. You have to know all of that information at the foundation in order to create irresistible content. Don't market like everybody else. That keeps you generic, okay? It keeps you generic when you do that and you market like everybody else. So now you got the initial attraction, right? This person says, okay, let's have a drink. You have a drink with this person. Now we're on step 3 of the missing ingredient that you need. And that is a capturing system, okay? So what that looks like is you need a system or a process in which you capture emails or text message or whatever communication to continue on that relationship. Or else it's the equivalent of, let's say you're on a date, you guys are on a date, you're vibing, and you guys get ready to leave and you don't exchange phone numbers. If you don't exchange phone numbers, how are you going to how are you going to continue to build on that relationship, okay? That is what most people are missing on social media. They don't have clear call to actions. They're not clearly telling their audience what you need them to do. And you're not capturing their information, okay? Your content should be selling for you irresistibly, indirectly, but your goal and your purpose is to capture their information so that you can begin the next step that we're about to get into. So if I'm making sense, if you're watching, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to drop them as well, both on Instagram or Facebook. And so that's the second key of that. If you don't have anything to capture their information, how do you know if you're going to see them again? That's just like going on an amazing date with this guy, and then you don't know if you're ever going to see them again. You did not get his phone number. You have to capture that information, okay? You're moving your potential buyers through a process of being a potential customer. And if you are not moving them through that process, you are going to lose that relationship because you did not capture their attention. You did not capture their phone number. In this case, if we're putting it in dating terms. Okay, good. Thank you, Shabazz. All right. So Now that you have that system, your goal is to lead them off the app to give you their information, to capture their information. There are ways that you can automate this. This is what I highly recommend, that this is automated, but you need it. Okay? Now, step 4. This is the most critical step. And this is the step that most people don't realize how important it is, or they skip it altogether. Okay? You have to have a nurturing process in place. Okay? What is the nurturing process? We go back to this date that you're on. Say you did capture their information, but say this person never calls you or reaches out to you again, or maybe they get to that point where they call you and they reach out only when they need something. How that's gonna make you feel? It doesn't feel right, do it? Like, you only call me when you need something. That's the equivalent of what you do when you only post about sales, or you only send emails about sales, and you don't nurture your audience. Okay? So, there is something called the golden hour. And if you're following me, even if you're watching the replay, comment golden hour. This is such an important concept that most businesses, especially product-based businesses, don't realize how important this is. The golden hour is a rule that says you have a very, very short window of time to start the nurturing process and to increase your chances of converting that person from not knowing you to knowing you to then buying your products and services. And so the way that you do that is through your nurturing process. Okay? In the golden hour, you have to, it is a must. You have to start indoctrinating them into your brand and into your business. Basically, bringing them into the world that is your brand. Okay? This is subconsciously, it's really starting to make them aware of who you are and what you represent, and really starts to pique their interest as to whether or not they are going to shop with you. But if you skip this nurturing step and you skip this during the golden hour, it has to happen quick, you are going to miss out on a lot of money on the table if you don't have a nurturing process. Or this could look like a welcome series, a series of emails that drip out to them, that follows up with them automatically, that tells them a little bit more about your brand, and then sends them emails over a series of a couple of days, or text messages, or whatever method that you use. This is where you start the indoctrination process, making sure that they are acclimated to your brand, and you start to bring them into the world that is your brand. Okay? You have a short window of time to do it. This is why this is important, that it's automated. Again, through welcome series, it must be automated. And this is why it is so important that you have this process solidified. Okay? Now, there's a lot more details that go into nurturing, but you have to continue on that relationship through marketing to them, through your email marketing or text message marketing, but also other ways as well. You have to continue on that relationship, okay? It takes someone about 13 times to see your business before they may ever consider purchasing, before they may ever remember who you are, before they may ever remember your brand. It takes them about 13 times. That means 13 touches. You have to nurture someone about 13 times. Obviously, the quick and most effective way of doing that is through systems and automation, which is what we're talking about. That is going to be the quickest, most effective way that you can do it without burning out. Because what's happening is most people are going on social media and they just keep posting, but you don't know if you're capturing the same person over and over. You don't know that. There's no way to track that, right? So the best way to do that is through automation. But the fact of the matter is, you need to be nurturing the people that you have captured their information to make sure that the relationship grows, right? Because who's going to marry a guy that only called them once or twice and never, there's no relationship there? Nobody. You're not going to call that person again. You're not going to build a relationship with someone who doesn't nurture you, who doesn't work for your attention, who doesn't show you that they care. That's the same thing that your customers want to feel. They need you to nurture them. And if you are not nurturing them, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. And it's more than just posting on social media, because the biggest thing that I see is on social media, most people's efforts are just buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, buy all of their posts, add to cart, go and shop here, shop here. They don't give anything in return to nurture that relationship. And that is why you're missing the mark with your potential customers, because you are not nurturing them. So that is why it is extremely important to have a welcome series and to continue nurturing your leads and your potential customers through email marketing or text message marketing. You have to meet them where they're at, and there are other methods as well. But again, 13 times, just don't forget that number. Don't forget that number, 13 times. It's a lot, right? So the fifth and final ingredient that you are missing that is affecting your entire process, your sales process, and this is one that most people sleep on and most people don't want to invest in making sure this is on point. You need to have an easy buying process, okay? You can do all of the things that I talked about and drop the ball right here at the buying process. You need to show yourself credible, right? They need to be able to look at your business page and your website or wherever you're sending them and trust you immediately. It needs to be easy to shop with you, easy to find your products, easy to check out. Your page can't be slow. Like your speed of your website even makes a difference. You can lose hundreds of dollars just by the speed of your website if it's not on point. Literally, there was a study that showed you can lose a lot of money, okay? This also plays a part in your cart abandonments. This plays a part in everything. So if your buying process is not easy, okay? If your website doesn't look legit, if I can't check out, if you have not just made it super easy for me to check out in so many different ways or to make a purchase, you will lose people. You have a very short window of time once they get on your website to convert them to a customer, okay? This is the biggest cause for cart abandonment, okay? This is the biggest cause of losing thousands of dollars a day. The biggest cause of that is because people do not have all 5 of the ingredients, and even then some people can have all of the other ones and lose people because the buying process is not easy. So you have to think about, what does the buying process look like for your potential customers, okay? Like, have you made it easy for them? Have you made it easy not just for them to physically check out and buy from you, but have you made it easy for them to trust your brand? Is it a bunch of stock images that they saw on somebody else's website? Because now they can't trust you. Do you have a legitimate email that they can use to reach out to you should they have questions? Are your policies clearly outlined? What does your shipping policies look like? Is that clear? Is there a return policy? Many people sleep on having a clear return policy and how much that affects your retention and conversion of potential customers, because it's easy. If I know that I can sleep well at night, that you can I can trust that if I'm not happy, there's some kind of way I can return. Again, there's so many different factors, but do they trust you enough to buy at this point? You gotta have it. You gotta make it easy for them, because especially what most people don't realize is they're going to cold audiences and trying to get these people who've never seen you to buy from you. Any little small mistake will stop them from buying. This is why you don't run ads until your business has already been validated organically first. Meaning people are buying from you organically. You've worked out the kinks, you've worked out the quirks, because guess what? When you start running ads to people who don't know you, never seen of you, never heard of you, guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, I'm not trusting this person. Exit. They're gone. You've lost them. They don't know you, so they're not going to show you the same kind of grace as people who are already warmer on you. They're not going to give you that kind of grace. So you have to understand that you're dealing with people that don't know, like, and trust you yet, and you have to make it easy for them to move through the buying process. They need to trust you. It needs to be efficient, easy, can't be slow, and there you go. Okay? So let's just review what we kind of talked about very briefly, and then I'm going to close this thing out. So when you're posting on social media, you have to be intentional. You have to have a very clear, solid foundation in your business. That's ingredient number 1. Niche, a clear niche. You need to be very targeted. You need to make it very clear the moment I come on your Instagram website who your brand is for, how you're going to help me solve my problem with your products. If you're missing that and you can't tell me why you're different than the next person, you're going to lose people. Okay? The second ingredient that you're missing is you need irresistible content. What do I mean by irresistible content? Your content, of course, it's harder to make irresistible content if you don't have the first ingredient and you don't know who you're making content for. You're going to lose people. So irresistible content is that kind of content that makes the person feel like this is the answer to my prayers, okay? You're telling them why they need you versus anybody else. Why your brand is different than anybody else. Why these ingredients that you need to have are better than anybody else. Why it needs to be done, and it needs to be done in a way that accounts for the customer psychology of selling indirectly from you. Every post can't be shop with me, shop with me, shop with me today, okay? It just can't. You have to give some value and make your content irresistible. Make them feel like this is exactly what I need. A clear example of that is you don't sell the mattress, you sell the good night's sleep. Okay? You don't sell the lipstick, you sell the smudge proof application so that when you're out with your girls, you don't have to keep retouching up your lipstick. That's what you're selling. So you're selling that through irresistible content that shows them that your product will solve their problems. Step number 3, your capturing system. You have to lead them from social media. In your call to actions, most of them clearly need to be getting them on your list, capturing their information so that you can begin the process off social media. Because guess what? If social media shuts down right now, if all your eggs is in the social media basket, you're in trouble. Okay? The 4th step for that is the nurturing process. This is the most important step. You have to nurture them. It has to be quick. People lose interest fast. People will forget very quickly. It takes someone about 13 times to see you before they ever consider purchasing with you. So you have to continue on that relationship and nurture them. It's much easier to do on your own platforms outside of social media. And the 5th process of that is an easy buying process. Your website. The website speed. Are you credible? Are you legit? Can I easily browse through? Can I easily trust you? Can I easily buy? If I'm here, does the website look? Is it presentable? Does it match what you're saying on social media? That is the 5th piece. Are your website speeds really slow? There's so many things that play a factor in that, but if anything affects them and affects them quickly or turns them off, you have about 5 seconds. If not, you're going to lose them and therefore have high cart abandonment rates. And there you go. And that is pretty much it. So those are the 5 ingredients that you are missing that are affecting and impacting your sales and affecting you being able to turn those followers that's on your page into buyers. My clients, I teach them how to grow and all of that, but I teach them how to fill their pages up with ideal customers. I don't teach how to get more followers. It makes no sense. I have clients that completely sell out of inventory with less than 100. I had one who recently sold out with less than 100 followers on her page, and she continues to sell out. And I think she still may have less than 100 followers or only have 100 followers, something like that. You can have a successful brand with less than 10,000 followers, less than 1,000 followers. Like I said, I've had clients sell out with 500 followers. I've had clients sell out with 1,000 followers. It's not about followers. It is about your approach. It is about how you do what you do. The followers will come. Social media is a vanity metric. You have to leverage social media properly that will get you sales. So I teach social media to get sales. I don't teach how to get more followers, okay? I teach you how to leverage social media to attract your ideal customers that turns them into people who want to shop with you and buy from you. And that's it. I ain't teaching more followers, because followers don't pay the bills. They just don't. Likes and comments don't pay the bills. They just don't. But there's a way that you can do it, because I would much rather my client have 100 people who are interested in what they have to offer versus 10,000 people and only 3 of them even care about what they have or would even possibly buy. Okay, that means nothing. So you gotta leverage your social media. You have to be intentional with your social media as I wrap this up. And you have to make sure that when you are posting on social media, that you are posting with intention and that you are posting with a strategy. You're not just randomly posting shop with me now, shop posts, okay? Because that is not going to help you at all. It may help you grow your page and your following, but it may not help you convert people into sales, okay? And so that was it. So again, that was the lesson for today. I will be back next week with another topic. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them. I will be happy to clarify these. If you are someone who is in a place that you are continuously struggling with this, I can go a little bit more in depth. I'm having a free live training on February the 10th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's more of a webinar format. There is no buy button at the end. You couldn't even buy if you wanted to, so you can put your purse away. I know a lot of people get tired of those webinars where they're like trying to make you buy their courses at the end. That's not none of that. I'm just dropping gems. And then if you want to work with me after that, that's on you. I'm not doing the whole you need to pull out your credit cards and things like that. So it's going to be a live training. I'll get to be able to get more in depth. It's going to have Q&A as well. And we're going to talk more about how to actually master sales online and dominate your market, even if you have a small following. Because again, I told you I have clients that sell out all the time. You said I need help with conversions. Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what I do. And in that live training that I'm doing on February the 10th, that's a perfect place because I will talk a little bit more in depth about it. But in that training, we're really going to talk about how you can start to dominate online and master your sales online and get consistent customers. A consistent flow of customers so that you don't have to guess or wonder where your next customer is coming from. And we get to the root. And that's really what I do. Is I get to the root cause. I'm not just giving you half strategies, and that's the problem with a lot of quote unquote marketing courses is they're only focused on giving you half strategies, which is just promotion, and it's so much more than that converts a customer into. There's a lot of psychology that goes behind it that a lot of people don't think about. Had 250 visits to my website this month with only 10 sales. There is a reason. The reason why that happens is there is usually a crack in your foundation. There's a crack in your systems and your strategies and your approach that's causing you not to have conversions. And a lot of times that could mean you have the right message, but maybe in front of the wrong people, or you have the wrong message in front of the right people, or you got the wrong message in front of the wrong people. There is something in your processes that has to be evaluated and identified that will be able to determine exactly why you are not converting. And the only way that you can really do that is obviously by going through and evaluating your entire business and your processes. But what I will say is in my live training that I'm doing with the Q&A on February the 10th, you will get a lot of clarity if you decide to sign up for that. Again, it's no credit card needed, ain't no pitching at the end, ain't no, me telling you to pull out your credit cards. It's just me dropping straight gems. And if it makes sense at that point and you want to talk about working together, we can. But in that training, I'm going to be able to give you a lot more clarity as to why that could be happening and why you could be struggling to convert those customers into buyers, okay? And why you could be having, struggling with conversions, because it's so many factors that go into that. So if you want to register, I believe the link is in the description. Go ahead and register. It's absolutely free. There is none of the, again, like I said, you couldn't buy on the training if you wanted to. It's just me giving you guys straight gems, and of course we can kind of go from there if you're interested in at that point, but I'm not doing all of the extra stuff. So go ahead if you want and go ahead and register for that, and hopefully I'll see you then. But if not, I will for sure be back on next week with another training right here in the group. And for my Instagram people, you guys know I'll already always be back every week, so we'll come back next week and I will talk to you guys a little bit more in depth about the issues that you guys are having in your business. So if you that was it. Again, my name is Fatima Barnes, business coach to the beauty brands, and that is exactly all that I have today. So I will see y'all next week.